Good morning, traders, and welcome to Phoenix Blue's morning update. I hope you're very well this morning. My name's Nishal Patel, and I'm the conducting today's morning update on Thursday, the 20th of April, 2017. As always, if you've got any questions in regards to any of the data we're looking at, in particularly how you'd like to benefit from trading the financial markets, feel free to send us an email at info@phoenixblue.co.uk. Alternatively, pop me in personal email at nishal@phoenixblue.co.uk, and we'll be happy to speak to you. Now, first things first, just moving on to what we need to look forward to today, and in particularly pay attention to what we should be very aware of today. We've got a few big announcements on the USD fortnightly unemployment claims coming out later on this afternoon. Please remember that all the times shown on the screen are GMT. So 1:30 London time here. We've got announcements on the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, as well as unemployment claims, followed later on in the afternoon by talks from the Bank of England's governor, which should be quite interesting looking at the charts that we have right now. And that talking about the charts, let's move straight on to the charts. The first thing we're going to have a quick look at is see how the dollar index is panning out. Dollar's still on the fall off the back of last week's high. Right now floating at 99.50 or just below 99.50, 99.48 right now. So rebounded or rebuffed off that 100 zone that we saw stick to and hug in and around of the last few days after pounding through it a couple of days ago. Let's see what it's got. Let's see the impression that it's left on our charts. As we see here, the day before yesterday, we really saw some movement, in particularly on the euro and on cable. Right now, the euro floating at 1.0739. Looking fairly strong. Remember that it's a big week, not only for the euro, but also global markets in general, because investors are somewhat subdued and sidelining themselves. I'm sure we already know and are aware of the problems that are facing the global economy right now, in particularly key news. So, the French elections, I think everyone's going to be looking to those and see how that pans out. And potentially could shape the layout of the European Union going forward, in particularly with the contagious effect of the debate of staying or leaving Europe, and that's a big talking point in the French elections right now. Obviously, no one's bringing it up to any certain degree of dates and how it can happen, but there are a few parties that are arguing for and against. So that's going to be a big talking point. Another big talking point, as always, is Donald Trump in the US and his policies that have, or we should say in this case, have not materialized right now. Everyone is still looking to those fiscal reforms and seeing how that would give a boost onto the equity markets stateside. And obviously that would have a knock-on effect globally, and we haven't seen any of that right now. Again, we no doubt many of you are aware to the problems that are escalating in North Korea, or the problems I should say escalating between North Korea and that of the US. So again, that's a huge talking point, and many investors are sidelining themselves because they don't want to be in positions when it can get choppy. So people are holding ground and waiting. But as we see here in Euro, has picked up some pace, just like cable. So if we just move over to cable, we can see this huge daily bar day before yesterday. Right now, cable sitting at 1.2850s. Definitely higher, and definitely higher than it has been for some while. And if we just have a look on the weekly right now, we can see it's broken out of this range, which really has stayed within over the last few months. In fact, if we just draw a little I'm just going to draw a little box for you guys, just so you can see on this weekly time frame the key areas of levels of support, and as we see right now, cable is literally glued within it. But again, looking very bullish in comparison. Let's not also forget that there are snap elections that have been called, that are just shy of around 6 weeks away now. So the snap general election in the UK has been called for the 8th of June. So something again to be very well aware of. Potential trading opportunity there. So moving on swiftly onto the Australian dollar, one of the other key majors. The Australian dollar right now has rebounded beautifully off that 23.6 or that 7,600 that was pointed out last week, and that's something I was looking at last week to see the interaction of this key area here. Again, we're looking at the Australian dollar on this daily time frame, having created a lower high now, and potentially looking to take up this low. So could be more room on the downside, some more bearish activity on the Australian dollar. And if we just shift over to one of the last majors we're going to have a look at, just having a quick look at the yen. This is the yen on the hourly charts. We see it's within a range which is building up to. I'm just going to measure this for you guys here. Just having a look at the size of this range, or approximation of the size of this range, as we see here. It's a fairly tight range of around 50 pips. We're floating in and around that since yesterday afternoon. And if we just push over to a daily time frame here, we can see this wedge start building, coming into formation, just hugging that 200, right? Just so you know, that's a 200 simple moving average. Exponential ones here, just hugging that 200 simple average right now as we speak, just below 109. So floating at 108.97 right now. Let's see what happens with that, and that's really going to give us a good estimation, and particularly the end is going to give us good estimation how investor confidence, if the risk off scenario is on, and we're most certainly seeing it right now. Just moving on, just having a look at a commodity before we wrap up. I'm just going to have a look at the price of WTI now. Big talking point right now, especially with gasoline inventories in the US to be in abundance, but a slight drop in the overall crude inventories. We've had details out from OPEC that they will most likely continue, and most certainly, I should say, continue the cuts over the course of the next few months, and it's very important to them that they do to start reducing the oversupply in inventories globally. So that's their objective. It's still saying that they've got definitive deals with non-OPEC members to continue with production cuts. So potentially pushing the price of oil back up. But right now, with oil sitting at $51, coming down, we saw over the course of the evening and the night, dropping at around 3.7% of its value, coming down and clipping the $50.50 per barrel on WTI right now. Bounded up around $0.50, just over that 60 cents, to where we see it right now. We don't see a lot of action on that. Potentially there is movement again on the upside if inventories are, if it's going to be the main crux for OPEC is to push on and to reduce inventories in general. Okay, guys, that's all we have today. As always, carry on to stay tuned to the rest of the daily updates from Phoenix Blue. and happy trading. Until next time. Bye-bye.